Hello everyone, I'm Stacy and this is the For Bricks and Giggles YouTube channel. For today's video, I kind of wanted to go over my most asked questions. Recently, YouTube has been super kind to me, or I've just been doing something, I guess, better than I did previously, that they've actually shown my videos to a lot of new people. So I've had a major influx of new subscribers, so welcome everyone if you're new. I am so glad you're here, but whenever that happens, that means I get a lot of the same questions. And I don't really have a channel trailer, so I thought I would kind of use this as a way to answer the most basic questions I get about myself, as well as a way to introduce myself to anyone who stumbles across my channel in the future. So if you've already been here, this might not be the most interesting video. You've probably heard some of this before, but then again, some of this might be new to you as well. So these will just be what I think are the most asked questions about myself that are Lego related. So the first one being, when did I get into Lego? And I generally say around 1998. We got some Lego bricks in a Kellogg's cereal box, and that's kind of what ignited the madness. And I've been collecting ever since. People generally call it a dark age when you leave Lego and then come back to it, and I have never had a dark age. There has not been a single year I didn't buy or receive a Lego set since 1998. So definitely a lifelong love of Lego. Then people generally ask what my first set was. I don't really qualify the parts we got out of a cereal box as my first set. So the first set I can remember getting is a little set called Telephone Repair. It's set 6422 from 1998. I loved this set. It had so many great accessory pieces, beautiful printed parts, and it even came with a minifigure that is exclusive to the set. This is technically a Town Junior set, which I know not everyone is a fan of, but I loved this set and I still have it to this day. And I'll add in too that every set I have ever gotten, I still own. I have never resold a set. I have never lost a set to a bin. In my family, if you got a set, it had to stay together. If you took it apart, you stuck it in a bag and it was labeled with the set number and stored that way. If you just wanted to build, we had separate Lego bricks for that, either that came from like yard sales or buckets that you could buy back when Lego buckets were kind of more of a thing. So I am super grateful for that because I still have every set I've ever owned. And that kind of leads me to another one of my most common questions, and that is, how many sets do you own? And I never really answer this question because, quite honestly, as soon as I told you a number, that number would be outdated. I'm always working on completing probably no less than 10 different sets at a time. I'm always buying bulk lots, so I get a lot of partial sets, and so then I make wanted lists for all the parts I need for each of the sets, and then I'm constantly placing BrickLink orders for stuff, so every few days I'd say I'm completing a set or starting working on a new set. So I have been buying Lego for over 25 years. I've been a BrickLink seller for the last nearly 6 years, and that has made the level of buying significantly higher. Obviously, when I was a kid, I wasn't buying massive amounts of Lego and Lego sets, but I do have a decent sized collection. But I am also very specific on the sets I want to buy and collect, especially the more expensive the sets get every year, the less new sets I decide to buy and the more vintage sets I decide to get. There's just so many variables. It's really hard to just give a number for my collection. I feel like for some people, they'd go, oh, I was expecting a lot more, and for other people, they would be like, that's insane that you have that many. But I don't usually like to ballpark it because I feel like either way, people are going to be disappointed. Probably my most asked question is for a room tour. This is it. This is the majority of what I have displayed. I have a few Star Wars sets that are on a hope chest, and then I have my monorail currently displayed on my coffee table, and then everything else is displayed back here, and then everything else is in storage. So I have very little space to display, so this rotates semi-frequently. I usually have to wait until I have posted it on YouTube, posted it on Instagram, and probably made a few TikToks with it before I will cycle it out and replace the sets that are on display. There are, however, some that stay permanently displayed because those are my top favorites, and a lot of those are higher up on the shelves that are not visible behind me. I'd also like to add that giving people an internet tour of your room or your house, I do not feel is a safe thing to do. So I do like to do shots of different areas, but I don't ever want to give a full layout of the place that I live or the room that I'm in. It's just a safety precaution more than anything. So it is very unlikely that I will ever be giving a room tour or home tour in the event that those circumstances even change, just for personal safety reasons. Usually I get asked if I have a favorite set or a favorite theme. So the themes I collect most are anything castle, anything classic town, any form of space set, any adventurer set, Harry Potter, and Belleville. Those are my top collected themes. I do also like Western sets, and then I will buy literally anything that is 4 digits. Basically anything before 2013. The older the better, in my opinion. I'm very much a vintage collector. I know there are different ideas of what qualifies as vintage. I wouldn't say 10 years ago qualifies as vintage, but that's when they stopped making 4-digit sets. So to me, anything that's 4 digits or less, 3-digit is fine too, although usually a lot harder to get. And I do prefer sets with minifigures, so usually that's like between 1978 or 9 and 2012. That's the range that I usually like to buy in. Currently, I would say my top contenders for favorite set that I own are my Futuron monorail, which I just got and I love, and the Yellow Castle. But I have so many that I love that it is really hard to just pick one. Where do I buy bulk lots? I get asked that one very frequently. Selling Lego is my job. I do this full time, so social media about Lego and Lego resale is my job. So I can't tell people where I buy the stuff that I need to make a living. All I will say is everyone has access to Google. Just try Googling it and you will come up with the same things that I am able to come up with. But I just can't go around telling thousands of people my sources when I need those sources to be able to pay my bills. But I wish you all tons of luck in your search. Just know that I spend probably hours a day going through search engine pages on different sites looking for specific types of bulk lots. It's a lot of research, but since it's what I do for a living, I love it and I don't mind it. And I can do it while I'm watching TV or listening to music or something like that. So listening to a podcast. So I think it's a lot of fun. How do I store my Lego sets and wash my Lego sets or dust them? First of all, I rarely dust. Because I rotate my sets out fairly frequently, they usually don't get to the point of needing to be dusted. If I do dust, I literally take a feather duster to it and that's it. If it gets really dusty, I just take it apart and wash it. I usually wait until I am done with the set. I take it apart, put it in a bucket with warm water and dish soap and let it soak for a little while, maybe give it a little stir if I think the dust is super sticky on there, which usually it's not. But I'm just really not a duster because nothing usually stays out long enough to need dusting, and if it does, I'd usually just rather wash it and then put it away and then it'll be clean for the next time I want to build it. So super simple. Either a duster. I don't use any of those sponsored vacuum cleaner dusters. They probably work amazing. People have reached out to me about using them, but I'm just really not interested because I don't do enough dusting to feel like I should be representing something that I wouldn't actually use. I always try to be super honest about that kind of stuff. I'm actually at the point where I don't even really want to do anything sponsored anymore. So if I talk about it, I probably bought it on my own and love it, and that's why I'm talking about it, because I've pretty much given up all kinds of sponsored content. And the washing of sets is how I wash all Lego, just a bucket of warm water and dish soap. People ask me that pretty frequently, and I don't do anything special. If they're super, super, super dirty, I'll probably just do it a few times. Let it soak for a long time, dump out the water, put fresh water in, more soap, and let it sit there again, sometimes overnight. I usually don't take out anything but the minifigures and maybe sticker pieces, and then I'll put those in like a smaller bowl by themselves so that they're not being washed for the same length of time as everything else. But I like to keep it simple. I usually lay everything out on towels and then I have a fan that helps to air dry them a little quicker. But yeah, super simple. So usually what I do is I build a set, I review it on YouTube, I make a TikTok or 10 with it. I post it on Instagram, I let it display for a few weeks, and then I take it apart, put it back in a bag, and then it goes into a storage tub. So just those storage totes you can get at Walmart or Lowe's or something like that. And I have those numbered. So once it goes back into a tub, it gets numbered. And then I have an Excel spreadsheet that has the set, name, number, all of that, and the bucket that it would be correlated with so that I can find it in the future. I have just been implementing that system over the last year or so. So not every set is on the list yet, or not every set has a numbered bucket yet, but so far that's been working out really well, especially when I do all these kind of like top 10 videos where I have to go back and pull sets and rebuild them, even if I've already had them displayed for a while. I also bought on Amazon, they make specific shelves to hold storage totes so that they don't get stacked on top of each other and crushed, and then the Lego inside would get crushed. That used to be what was happening. Those plastic storage totes would get kind of destroyed over time just because of the weight of Lego, and now no bucket sits on another bucket, which is awesome. So I highly recommend looking into that. I got mine through Amazon and I bought 2 of them, and that has been the most helpful thing. If you are storing your Lego in storage totes, I highly recommend those. When I bought them maybe a year or so ago, they weren't that expensive. It's like maybe $130 per shelf, and I only needed 2 of them, and they each hold 12 storage totes. So definitely look into that. I definitely recommend that if that is the way you are storing your sets. I think those are my most asked questions. I tried to go through the last several videos and pick the top ones, plus the ones that I just remember getting asked frequently. I do try to answer as many questions as possible, and every so often I do one of these videos where I let people write in questions and I answer them. So maybe twice a year I do that, but I've just felt like the number of people that have recently come across my channel and the number of questions I've been getting, that this might be the easiest and most helpful way to do it. With all of that being said, absolutely love Lego. I am a Lego exclusive person. I don't buy any kind of off-brand or compatible bricks. Everything has that Lego logo on it, and I'm a huge fan of the brand. So thank you to everyone who is newly subscribed, and everyone who's been subscribed. I hope you might have found out 1 or 2 new pieces of information or something maybe interesting you didn't already know. But thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're interested in extra videos and content, check out the membership program. It's starting at only 99 cents a month. See you all next time.